Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, first and foremost, let me remind you of a couple of things. I just put up a brand new interview with Scott Ritter that I did, which is absolutely one of the greatest. It drops at 9 p.m. Members, Lionel Nation members, are able to watch it now. It is one of the best. He is an incredible repository of information. He has done more to provide me with more knowledge than anybody as to the military aspects of this. So that is that. First of all, welcome, my friends. This is, of course, tomorrow is where America celebrates the birth of your intellectual savior. That's right, tomorrow. Think of it as Lionel Nation Christmas. Born in Swaddling, in Ybor City, 67 years ago. Wow. In a hospital that doesn't even exist anymore. That's tomorrow. But now, let's talk about something. Today, I hope you saw President Trump was fantastic. He was without peer. He was excellent. He has his mojo back, his thing, I don't know what the words are per se, but he is superb. Absolutely, positively superb. And what he has is something which is so important and so critical. He had the ability today, I don't know if you saw this, he had his mojo back, he was taking questions, threw somebody out whose phone was on. It was terrific. That's the Trump we want. From president to king, Trump's grip on the republic, I love it. This is what we voted for. This is what we wanted. He got his mojo back. He's got his steam back. He wasn't the same. There was something not right. I don't know what it was. He also is something on his hand. I don't know what's on his hand. What's the big deal? Why don't you just show us what's on your hand? What the hell's the big deal? Versus makeup, people are looking. But I do find it ironic that his predecessor walked around basically brain dead for I don't know how long, who didn't know where he was, who basically yelled, who ordered the veal cutlet, who had no clue as to what he was doing, where he was. I mean, seriously. He was just, for lack of a better word, he was just beyond anything I've ever seen. He was not even in I don't know what the word is. He wasn't even in, I guess what you'd say, he wasn't even in the White House. People that we know, people in the know, said that he was not, seriously, he was not even in Washington or in the White House for I don't know how long. He was at Rehoboth Beach or wherever the hell he was in Delaware. This is serious business. He was really bad. And at the time this happened, as you recall, my dear friends, he was walking around, and what did they say? He was sharp as a tack. He was fantastic. He was better than anybody ever saw. When he was walking around clearly drooling, incontinent, unable to know who he was, where he was, what he was. And yet, President Trump shows a little ankle swelling and a little bruising. So what? So what? But there was something, he wasn't really up to speed. The White House is as gaudy. You see all this gold inlay and oh my God, I don't remember it. Listen, if that's what he wants, that's what he wants. There we go, Pilgrim. Thank you, my friend. There's his old picture. That's more like it. Where's that one been? That's what I like. I like that kind of groovy, sort of hippie Rick Wakeman meets Cher kind of a look. Thank you for that, my friend. You know, when you get a little older, you get these weird things. There's some things called purpura. You get like a purple thing on your, like, oh, how do I care? Admit it. Show people. Say, yeah, I got this thing on my arm. So what? His Venus duplex. He has he has a little reflux in his veins. Apparently, it could very well be very common. Not at all. I don't know. There's no deep vein thrombus. Nothing like that. It's nothing. Show people. Wear some compression hosiery socks. What the hell's a big deal? But here's the deal, which I want to talk to you about, which is the most important. We'll talk about this some other time. Well, today we're going to talk about it. My friends, I want to ask you a question. Based upon what you know about the Constitution, do you believe there should be a law prohibiting the burning of the American flag? Yes or no? If I take this and I burn it, I buy it and I burn it, should that be subject to a criminal charge? Now, if I take this flag versus this flag, does that make a difference? And if it does make a difference, how do you write it? If it's made of paper, if it's this size, if it's on a pole, what does that mean? It's like you can't burn the Bible unless it's in a leather bound. Why isn't there something that prohibits the burning of the Constitution? Because nobody burns the Constitution. Well, why not? Now, you know and I know, under the prior law, the prior issue, there was a rule that basically said specifically that there was you were allowed under the Constitution, or you were prohibited, or it was unconstitutional to make a criminal sanction the burning of the American flag. And this is something which is really, really a very, very, very critical thing to do. Now, at the time, remember, nobody really wants this. Nobody wants any of this. I think it's all safe to say that I believe, at our stage of life, we don't believe in burning the American flag. But that's not the issue. No. So the intellectual side of me, the constitutional side of me says it is not in any way, it is not to be, I think, construed as being proper to prohibit the burning of the Constitution. I'm sorry. I can't imagine. Excuse me, the flag. I can't imagine. Plus, the Supreme Court's already ruled on it. They've already ruled on this. Even Scalia said, as much as I hate as deplorable as I think it is, you have that right. But yet, the president says, you know what? I don't care. I want to do it again. Well, guess who in the past stood up in the Senate and adamantly, absolutely, voted repeatedly in favor of a law making it criminal to burn the flag? Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden. Did you know that? It's absolutely true. Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden. Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden. These staunch Democrats, these staunch Democrats, these folks who were responsible, these people. Think about this. Now, here's what I wanted to tell you about. And I talked about this with Scott Ritter in a great interview. First and foremost, number one, sometimes there are things that theoretically make sense, but they don't work. Let me give you an example. As I've told you before, I do not believe in spanking children. I just don't. First, I don't know what it's like to have children who are so terrible that you want to spank them, or who are really where they, because basically it's anger, and I'm not saying it's unwarranted. I'm not trying to dismiss it, because a kid can say something to you, depending on your kid, and you might want to basically kill them. And that may be a bit extreme, but the bottom line is simply this: it depends upon how it works. There may very well be a type of child who only responds to spanking, to hitting, to physical, basically grabbing them. This may in fact be. I do not know. There may be in fact a child who actually works best, and that's the bottom line. So even though I think intellectually I'd say spanking's bad, is wrong, there may be, I don't know who's who, and I don't know how you figure it out, but there may be somebody who says, you know what, this it only works with them. It's the only thing they fear. It's the only thing that keeps them in line. It's the only thing that works. That may be. So I don't know. The death penalty. The death penalty is one of those things where, I think intellectually it's wrong. I think practically it's wrong. I think as a matter of functionality is wrong. I think a lot of things is wrong regarding the death penalty. I really do. For reasons that, whatever. However, maybe in some cases, maybe the right people would be frightened by that. Maybe. I don't know. If it's true, I might change my mind. I might say, well, so be it. If it works, let's say against terror, if terrorists for some reason apply or really pay attention, maybe that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's hard to say. It's hard to put it into words. It really is. It's very, very difficult to put it into words. What I think is the most interesting to note as well is that when it comes to the flag, maybe sometimes there may be something, or maybe in occasion like this, where it's better to show people theoretically how this works. That we as a society believe that this particular form of expression is so special that even though yes, it is constitutionally protected. Yes, that's true. We still consider this different. I'm willing to hear it out. I don't think that's the way it's going to be, but I'm willing to hear it. I don't want to do something just because I think it means a lot to me. We are really, my friends, we are seeing something, and I'm seeing something that is just showing, and that we are living in the depths of an abomination. There are people in this country who just, frankly, I don't know where they're from. I don't know where they're from. I am seeing this, maybe by virtue of my being a scholar of YouTube, a scholar of YouTube crime. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know. But I think sometimes we're seeing something. We're seeing a new group of people. There is an amount of savagery that I cannot believe that's going on. On a separate note, I want you to follow Mrs. L. Follow her at X or Twitter, because there are things going on regarding AI that is just will blow your mind. Absolutely blow your mind. Seriously, it'll just. I don't even know how to put this into words. It is really something bigger than anything anybody's ever seen. And I can't get anybody's attention, so that's okay. Maybe remember I'm telling you now because I'm going to tell you I told you so. And I'm telling you right now, it is as clear as day as what's happening. But I don't know what but there's nothing anybody can do about it. I don't know what you can do about it. I don't know what you can do about it. That's the bottom line. So we'll see about that. So it is a very, very, very frightening thing. So in any event, my friends, we've got so much going on today, so much regarding the president. He was in rare form. I think maybe the Pam Bondi thing has kind of tamped down, I guess. Please watch again tonight, 9, the Scott Ritter thing. It is so good about the people that we need specifically regarding the war effort and the like. President Trump enjoys being the president. He thoroughly enjoys it. I never got the impression that with anybody, maybe, I'm serious, where they loved being the president. I know they wanted to be the president. I know Nixon did. I know LBJ absolutely was ruthless for power. But I don't think they enjoyed it. I think Trump loves being the president. I think he loves talking to people. He loves throwing his way. He loves being a big shot. He's the best. There, he is. It made me feel so good. Did you think that, honey? He was happy. Mrs. L said something, and I tend to agree. The Oval Office, but it is tacky. It's tacky. It's so bad, right? It's so bad it's good. It's almost like Cracker Barrel good. He is doing everything he wants. Ultimate fighting at the White House. He put like a he put a I don't know what the hell you want to call it, a kind of like a food court in the back in the where the Rose Garden was. It's a patio. It looks tacky. It looks like somebody's you should put a pool there or something. But if it makes him happy, good for him. Good for him. Recently we had something in which we had a friend of the family, young person, relatively young, and she had her first brush with TDS. And it's a friend, it's the daughter of a friend. And we're talking to the day, and we said, well, whatever happened to so-and-so? Well, what happened? And a group of her friends found out she was voting for, or may have, she never even said, may have voted for Trump or like Trump. They went over to her, I think, apartment or something, and even were upset with the fact she had Fox News maybe on TV or something. And they went berserk. She had a red shirt on, which was affiliated with some team that she liked. Had nothing to do with Trump. And we had to sit there and say, listen, you have to understand something. You're feeling terrible because you have these friends of yours. They were very close. You thought they were close to you. And you're finding out now the depths of this TDS. It's not just an expression. It is truly demented. It is demented. It is demented lunacy. There is no other way to say it other than what it is. It is just, it's horrible. Absolute 100% sheer unmitigated lunacy. And to think that friends would let you down. Friends, seriously, would turn their back on you. Not because of anything you did to them, but because of something that you perceive, without you even saying, but that you perceive liking. This is how sick it is. I mean, there's no way around it. There's no way to put it into words. It is just absolutely sickening. And there's no other way to explain it other than to say, I'm sorry. But better that you find out now. Better that you find out the way things are. This is a weird thing. It is a pathology. And it is a pathology that is fueled by people within various groups or cadres who feed off of this, where people think it's cool to do it, where sometimes you show your allegiance, and it's like a pack of wolves turning on them. Somebody. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. You're now seeing the president. I think Bobby Kennedy may finally be wanting to do something rather than concentrating on Fruit Loops. He might be doing something pretty drastic regarding. Listen, I want to know where that Bobby Kennedy was. The Bobby Kennedy that we love, the anti-vaxxer. Where is this guy? He's talking about Fruit Loops and seed oil and French fries at Steak and Shake, which is absolute 100% bullshit. Beef tallow? Taking potatoes and soaking it in beef fat? You're thinking this is better than this seed oil? And there's a new thing saying that cholesterol is good for you. Statins are bad. Oh my God. Dear God. If you're born with hyperlipidemia or hypercholesterolemia and all of these others, if you have an LPA that's off the charts, you better hope to God you jump on some kind of a statin or Repatha or something. There is absolute incredible changes that have been made in the past couple of years. Let me tell you what they're going to do right now. Eventually, you're going to end up going to the doctor at some age, and they're going to, at the age of 20 or 30, they're going to take your LDL level. And if you're 100, they will put you on this. If they can bring your LDL under a certain level, however it's done, based upon your own genetics, not diet's not going to do it. You need heavy duty. Statins are cheap. They save more lives than you can imagine. They're not without side effects. But these other things too, the Repatha-like injectables, and you will see no one with a heart attack. No atherogenic, nothing. It is exploding. And yet there's these morons. Now, it's a free country. You can say whatever you want, but I don't know where this comes from. But that's okay. Do what you want. It's a free country. I really believe you should be able to do and say whatever you want. And if that's what you want to believe in, ketogenic diets and all this kind of stuff, come on. It's the Atkins diet. It's old. I did that. Everybody did that. Yeah. But it's a free country. And more than anything else, I believe that you should be able to say and do pretty much whatever you want. But make sure you know what the hell you're doing. And make sure you don't go listen to Jordan Peterson for information as far as hyperlipidemia. Dear God. This fellow I've never seen anybody who just rubs me the wrong way like Jordan Peterson. This man just drips of fraudulent. Who do you think is the biggest fraud of them all? Of all the names, the one who just sends you through the roof, where you say, "Oh God, turn that off. Turn that off. I can't stand that guy." Who is the one who makes you say, "I can't take it"? Trump's diet? No. But at 78, what's he going to do? Tucker Carlson. That's very funny. Candace Owens. Candace has gone kind of off the plantation. She's is that proper to say off the plantation? Can you say that? She's off the reservation, let's just say, not the plantation. Reservation. Can you say reservation? Is that anti? It's Ayn Rand. I'm with you. Ayn Rand is such a phony, an absolute, just one of the worst. I don't know where this objectivism. Is this Hayden Panettiere? Candace goes where the money is. Yeah, but she also goes where the anger is. Where the anger. She really, you know what I mean? And it's okay to be angry about certain things, but I'll tell you who has been absolutely fantastic. Judge Napolitano. We've got Judge talked to Colonel Grant McGregor's office. We'll be talking to him again. Did Ritter today. I'm going to try somehow to get a hold of. I would just love. I think that, and I don't know how to get a hold of him, but I've tried. I don't know. I guess I can ask people, but I think Mearsheimer has just redefined everything, changed everything, created there's a new group of people. And some of these people, by the way, I only agree when it comes to either the Middle East and Ukraine. We probably don't agree on, regular politics and that sort of thing. But when it comes to this, they are the best. And that's what I want you to understand. Listen to me very, very carefully. Listen carefully to this. You might find somebody. I agree with Bernie Sanders regarding what's happened in the Middle East with Palestine, Palestinians, and Gaza. I agree with him. I agree with Greta Thunberg. I agree with Katie Halper. I agree with Max Blumenthal and Abby Martin and Junk Yogurt and Anna Kasparian. On this, maybe not in the same particular volume or the intensity, but understand something. There are people that I agree with when it comes to this. And Piers Morgan all of a sudden coming on board the last minute. Piers Morgan, he's kind of figuring, okay, I'm gonna stick my toe in the water. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lee Zeldin, who I think is just absolutely one of the most lackluster politicians who ran for governor, is 100% because he's tackling geoengineering for the first time. Good for him. Good for him. Dane Wigington and our friends at geoengineeringwatch.org. Finally, so they're coming around. There's this new group of folks. So you've got Candace Owens maybe agreeing with Marjorie Taylor Greene. So it's not a club. You don't buy a package where you have to agree with everything. And the whole idea of agreeing means nothing. But this is something, my friend, that and President Trump would disagree. Did you see Mike Huckabee? Mike Huckabee I think he was sitting with a couple of rabbis talking about anti-Semitism. Oh, dear God. Oh, my God. You've got to see this to believe it. I don't even know what he's talking about. It's bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. It's nuts. Cray. Looney Tunes. Dear God. It's unreal. Anyway, so those are our messages. Go for the issue. Find out what people agree with, and that's it. Absolutely. I've got friends, people that I know, we agree on the abortion thing as far as Roe against Wade, but they're anti-choice. I'm pro-choice, whatever the hell that means. But when it comes to the Dobbs decision, we're on the same page for different reasons, but we agree. That's another thing. You can agree with somebody, but for different reasons. That's why you have to throw away this idea. Do I agree with Trump about everything? No. Not at all. I still want you to understand what I'm saying. I still want Trump. I know it sounds nuts to commute the sentence of Ghislaine Maxwell. Because this would free people up. Not that I like her by any stretch of the imagination. No, I do not. I don't think she is as bad as they get. I don't even think, seriously, I don't think when you consider how bad in terms of the number, the age, the victimization, whatever, I don't think Epstein is anything near to what other people are doing. Anywhere near this in terms of kids and the familial trafficking that's going on. Real trafficking. I mean, not people coming up and being recruited to work for Epstein. That doesn't make any difference because if you're under the age of consent. But the stuff that's going on right now in families, oh my God, he can't hold a candle to that. Now, it's hard to say, well, who's worse? Is BTK worse than Ted Bundy, worse than Hillside Strangler? You can't compare worse with serial killers, and you can't compare when it comes to trafficking. But he is nowhere near as bad as what we're seeing right now. Okay? And there's a lot of stuff. I disagree with the way Pam Bondi handled Epstein. I disagree with, notice how Dan Bongino, they're going to just push him out. You're not going to see it. Trump's going to teach him a lesson for him to act like a baby like that. Also, Tulsi Gabbard. Remember, one day, when you see Tulsi Gabbard, turn to your spouse or your loved one or whatever and say, mark the date we see this. We may not see Tulsi Gabbard tomorrow or ever again. You see somebody in a snapshot for 1 second, they may go away. You may never see them again. Either way, that's beside the point. But, my friends, the good news is simply this. President Trump, I think, is back. I think he's getting his mojo back. Something was not right. Just didn't seem himself. I don't know if he's playing golf as much. He's got to slow down a little bit. I know he likes that stuff, but he doesn't have to pull a Mick Jagger. He's 78. Another thing, too, is who looks great, even though he might be a little pazzo, is Dershowitz. He's like 85. He's doing terrific. Sharp as a tack. Well, in terms of acuity goes, his judgment may be another story. But so it's funny how you never understand how when people get older, sometimes things affect them differently. I don't know. But Trump is still better than ever. And God bless him. I think he's back. And I think people were asking about whether he has PTSD. There's no evidence of that. You're imagining. You wouldn't be surprised. But I don't know if he does. We don't know anything about him. He's not one to bare his soul. He's not one to, he sometimes remember when all of a sudden Trump, I'm a Christian. Hey, remember when you stood in front of that, was it St. John's Church? Or what was it across the street? He held the Bible up like Dracula, like you hold this, get back, A little awkward sometimes, Still, doesn't matter. What he's doing with D.C. is wonderful. Houston next, Chicago. He did the fentanyl. What did he do? He did a... Oh, American Free of Fentanyl. It's a privately run. And let me also tell you something. I want you to think about this one. I mentioned this to Scott Ritter today. Because he said that when he was in Russia, the military, the Russian military, the Russian army, and he said, by the way, the Russians and the Ukrainians, he said, two of the best because they've been at it. They get the most practice. They're the most experienced. But he said, if you don't understand drone warfare, you can't be in the 21st century military. You can't do it. It's just impossible. So is the U.S. Open going on now or is that over? U.S. Open. Yeah. 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 Russian player smashed his racket. Yeah. Now, listen to me. Imagine a drone packed with a half a pound of fentanyl. Just a half a pound. Nothing. That could kill half of Cleveland. Remember, fentanyl. And it flies over, and there's a little propeller device, and it broadcasts like one of those fertilizer sprayers. Those ortho things you spray. Just sprays it out. Flies over. Freddie, oh my God, Freddie. Thank you, dear Fred. Look at Freddie. Freddie, you're a beautiful man. Happy birthday. Fred, you have made my day. You are more than kind, dear friend. How about a big hand for Fred? Fred is a supporter. Fred is a supporter, the likes of which nobody has been, and you are so appreciated. Thank you, dear friend. Thank you for that. But imagine just flying this, and just broadcasting this spray, this fentanyl powder. Just imagine. And people, a gram, a dram, not a dram, that's a liquid measure, but a milligram, just something, just enough to get you. A gram of fentanyl, $3. Why somebody wants to buy this, I have no idea, but people do. I guess not all of it can kill you, but you don't know. I have no idea. I've never partaken, nor will I. But imagine, let's assume it's China. Let's assume it was China. Let's assume it's China. What would we do? What would we do? Think about it. What would we do? Would we go to China? Would we declare war? How would you prove it? How would you know? We are ready, my friends. We are on the verge of some of the most serious nonsense ever. Ever. And remember what I'm telling you. AI will make everything look like. Can you see an AI or AGI rogue bot manufacturing its own? Remember, if a human can do it, it can do it. Do you think it's possible for a rogue AI bot to call somebody, to order, to send crypto, to transfer money? You don't think a super intelligent bot that has an 800 IQ can figure out how to do that? And why? I have no idea. To destroy us, to teach us a lesson, maybe some backwards form of I don't know, not logic, but morality. You have no idea. Today we heard something this morning on WABC. Make sure you listen overnight. Matt Blaze, the incredible engineer and board op and producer, put together a song of Gia Judice doing that terrible wake up in the morning, that awful little rap or thing she does, and put it into this AI music and came out with the most incredible song I've ever heard. It's going to change everything. Rick Beato, have you seen Rick Beato? Who's wonderful, great, one of the pioneers of YouTube. Some of the most incredible stuff. Did you see what he's finding out? It's changing the course of everything. And all I'm saying is there's something we can do. So we can talk about it all day long. We can't stop it. So if we agree it's something terrible, it doesn't matter. We can't stop it. And when the notion of when this, how do I say this? When it hits its peak, it is going to be, well, we'll just leave it at that. I don't want to keep scaring people because I sound like I'm really sticking to that too much. In any event, but we'll see about that one. So my friends, today, it's been a wonderful day. It's beautiful. This is 81. I know this is a little early. I want to thank you for, we have been, I don't know how many years I've been doing this. I have no idea. When did I start this? I have no idea. We have been through so much. We have so much. We have been through so much. We have in particular, through the course of this stuff. Oh my God. I keep thinking about this. How time goes so fast. And I also think to try to explain to people sometimes how important this is. I know we have friends of ours who kind of say, so you do this YouTube thing, do you? Yeah. And do you? I said, it's hard to explain. I said, it's not just me, it's almost like a family. It's not almost like a family, it is a family. There are people who meet each other. I'm curious if you ever talk to each other off the air, if you exchange phone numbers, or I'm just curious. Maybe we'll have our first wedding or first marriage or something. We have people who have been with us from the beginning and have been through iterations of this. And there were some rough patches here. I've never really made it official. I've never gone never really. I want you to understand this. It shouldn't surprise you. I'm very private. I don't tell you everything. Sometimes I'll tell you about stuff that we do. It's kind of fun. But I don't tell you about everything because it's just my nature. This weekend, Mrs. L and I went to the Hamptons. Well, the Hamptons are like everything. It's like 1,000 square miles is a Hampton. Everything is a Hampton. 2.5 hours of driving. The most incredibly horrible driving I've ever been through. I mean, it's just horrible. There's no bumper to bumper. Just horrible. And you get there and it's like, this is it? Sorry. And then you go there, have fun, turn around 2.5 hours back to the city. Unbelievable. But the good part about it was Mrs. L and I are laughing, kind of playing great music and listening to things and talking and chatting. And that's a good time. But we share stuff with you, but not really a lot of stuff. I don't understand why people share things. I don't know why people put pictures of family. I don't know. I just do not understand it. I do not understand it. There's one thing I will tell you, and you know this. Mrs. L and I agreed that we want to do this, and we will promote ourselves for the cause, for the brand, whatever it is. But nobody else did. Ladies and gentlemen, our good friend Nolan Russell. Thank you, Mr. Russell. Thank you, dear friend. You are kind and a generous man. I thank you for that. You're a beautiful person, and I mean that sincerely. Thank you. But I don't understand why people do that. I don't get it. Here's my family. Here's this. Here, I hate that. I hate that. Especially, we also have friends of the family who are expecting friends. They have kids who are expecting, and we're saying, please, don't put pictures of your children on Facebook. And they looked at me like, what? But no, they're just friends. They want to see this. Don't put pictures of your baby on Facebook. Don't. And they looked at me like, I have to share this. I share my lunch. I share what I eat. How can we have a baby and not put him on Facebook? Don't do it. You're making yourself a target for this. Somebody somewhere could see this and they look at me like, you're out of your mind. Don't you get that impression? How do people think you just think the we live in New Jersey, maybe not here, but in Jersey, sometimes we go shopping or whatever. We'll drive by and they'll say, it'll be a graduation. Happy graduation, Michaela or Jeremy or something. I'm thinking, why are you telling me that you've got a minor, for the most part, named Michaela there? Why are you doing this? Well, because their friends have it. Why are you telling everybody? Why are you saying to the world, does Michaela know it's her graduation? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? They look at you like, you have to rethink this stuff. There are people who are going to snatch children based upon what they see. And anything that goes on Facebook 1 minute is there forever. Forever. Not in your family's pictures. Again, they really don't want to hear from us. They don't want to hear from us. So I'm always the bearer of doom. And I recognize that. Fentanyl from the sky. AI, AGI. They don't want to say, here he goes again. Geoengineering, 9/11, the Ukraine, and what do we do? I don't care. I'm right. Remember this. If you're right, you're right. And there's no reason for you to care about anything else. You just say and do what you think is right. Be right. And if somebody doesn't like it, that's the way it is. We live in a world right now that is so horrible. And it's so scary. It really is. To think that, remember there used to be a company where people would baby-proof your home. You ever heard of that one? They'll come and they'll say, oh, you got a sharp edge here. Oh, you got plugs here. Oh, you got to put these little plug things on. And they get on the ground and they look like babies and they crawl around. Oh, you got to watch this. You got to, these little loose pieces. Don't buy this. This has little pieces the baby can swallow and die and all that. And you think that's very good. Well, if you bring Mrs. L in there, she'll make you predator proof. And the first thing is to tell a parent, do not put pictures of your baby up there. Because as you know, to parents, children are chattel. This is mine. I have to share this with you. I share what I do. I share what I eat. I share my new yoga pants. I share a tiramisu that I ate. A sunset. Here I am with my husband. Here I am with my wife. Here I am eating. Here I am sleeping. Here's my dog sleeping. Everything about it. Isn't it great? So lucky. So blessed. Here I am with my feet. Got my feet propped up. Got my feet in the sand. Got my feet on a banister. I'm so lucky. Living large. Life is good. I got to do this because I got to mimic other people. They've got kids. God damn it, I'm going to put my kids up there too. You got a husband. I got a husband. See? See? It's the weirdest thing. Why don't you tell somebody, you don't have to tell anybody. Nobody cares about you. Well, I care about myself. But nobody cares about your kid. Just say, have a night. I got a baby. Great. Your family members. They're not going to be. It's open. It's open. I mean, maybe if you had literally had a password, maybe like a website or something, maybe, but even that, good luck. How do you tell people? How do you make people understand that this is the most dangerous thing in the world? These are the worst. How do I tell people that political parties are over with? It's over. I don't like Trump because he's a Republican. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Republican. I don't know them about. I told you, when it comes to the Middle East, when it comes to Israel and Gaza, I'm agreeing with these people. I'm agreeing with these people. Do you think that Scott Ritter is some kind of a lefty? What? No. Left and right has nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with what's going on there. Nothing. You see how these paradigms don't work? It's paradigmatic. It's ridiculous. It is, I don't know what the word is. I'm trying my best. I try. We have a fellow in this running for mayor named Zoran Mamdani. I think you probably pretty much heard about this. I'm voting for Curtis Lewa. I think he's the best. I've known Curtis for over 30 years. Over 30 years. He is the best candidate there is for New York. He wears a red beret. So what? He likes cats. He and his wife. Okay. So what? What's the problem? This guy knows every square inch of New York City. And right now we are in a battle. I'm trying to tell people it's not about New York City. And then we got these people who hate New York City, so they're always sending us this stuff. Oh, look at this, look at this. They listen to this everywhere. Chicago's big. Chicago's worse. Don't you think, honey, Chicago's worse? Gone. I'm not a lefty. My number one issue is organized crime, is a law and order. Period. Law enforcement. Period. End of discussion. So is that left? Is that right? I don't know. Do I worry about Facebook because I'm left or I'm right? Do I care about geoengineering because I'm left or I'm right? What does that even mean? I have no idea. It doesn't make any sense. There are more people who love President Trump. And you know who loves President Trump? Europeans. They love him because they know what it means to be tough. So, my friends, don't lose faith. Don't lose faith. Please don't become confused about Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. Nobody cares. The two people who are the most interesting, bar none, Laura Loomer, Nick Fuentes, bar none. Do I agree with them all? No. Laura Loomer is such a staunch, what you would call a Zionist, and Nick Fuentes is the opposite to the point of, I don't know, but that's not what I'm talking about. I can sit there and say, okay, it's like you look at a menu. We stop at this place in the neighborhood. We look at this place, oh, this is nice. They had ravioli. Oh, that's nice. $27? Did you ever notice when somebody's like, it's not the money, but it's like, that's ridiculous. $27 for what? You can buy a pan of this stuff. Anyway. But you look at a menu and you say, I don't like everything on this menu, but I like coming to this restaurant. I only have one or two things. I don't like everything they have, but I like this place. I like their this. And what's happening right now is both of these are complete. They're shattering the notion, the convention of right-wing, ideological, paradigmatic right-wing Trump, MAGA, and all that stuff. Listen to what you are saying. Listen to what. Everything else, I don't want to listen to necessarily everything else, but I want there to say, to shake everything. And to say, you know who really is, have you noticed who is really she's just Ann Coulter. What happened to Ann Coulter? Ann Coulter just angry. Whatever happened? She just lost her bearing. She was it. Remember that? Ann Coulter was great on radio and YouTube. She just never, I don't know what it is. She just doesn't. I don't know what it is. It's the strangest thing. It's the strangest thing. I was watching before Glenn Beck had on Lee Zeldin. Again, Lee Zeldin couldn't lure me out of a burning building. One of the most boring people there is. I think he could have won them. He didn't really care about the governor of New York. Anyway. But he's doing this geoengineering. God bless him for that. He was on Glenn Beck. I'm no Glenn Beck fan. But it doesn't matter. This is important. Just listen to this. Get the word out. And I also told Scott Ritter today, don't forget 9 o'clock it drops. I said, we got to have something in the summer for parents maybe to take their kids to teach them the rudiments of the Constitution, military history, American history, and the like. So in any event, that's what we're going to do with that. So let me tell you something, my friends. First of all, our dear friend to Pilgrim Media, thank you, my friend. Fred Haddad Jr., bless your heart. Thank you. You are so kind. And our good friend Nolan Russell, thank you so much. Freddie, thank you so much for your kind birthday wishes. And Pilgrim, thank you. So terrific. That's right, tomorrow's a big day. 67 years old, my friends. I love saying that. Somebody got a senior discount the other day. I love it. I'll get every discount there is. You got to understand something. I mean this. This number is like weight. It's a part of you. It defines you a little bit. It describes you. I shouldn't say defines you, but it's just a number. It doesn't, the you part has nothing to do with it. But there are people I know who get so bent. Oh my God, 65. Oh man. Oh, stop it. There are people I know who would be anything to be alive today, and they're not. So cherish every moment of this thing, because I don't know what's happening afterwards. All I know is this is it. This is all I know. So if you're doing okay, that's okay. All right, my friends, thank you so much. Thank you. Don't forget to follow Mrs. L. She's got some great interviews coming up. You've got to listen to her at Lynn's Warriors, both Lynn's Warriors on X or Twitter, and Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. So please do that. Also, are you signed up for my my newsletter? Sign up for the newsletter. The newsletter is critical. I did one today that went out. It's about a lot of stuff, and you'll like it. It's good stuff. It costs you absolutely nothing. I don't sell your information or whatever the hell these people do. I'm not interested in that. But it's very well put together, very well crafted. And it's an idea that I think is important. And I think it goes to show you that it's kind of supplements what we are. And let me do this. Let me give you this. There we go. I call it Lionel Nation News. Sounds better than to say, this other stuff. Let me give it to you. Here it is. This is there it is right there. That's it. Let me see if I can put it right there. Put it right at the top. I'll pin it right at the top for you. There we go. So please make sure I normally do 2 of these where I put out a story and then, and how about that Cracker Barrel? Ladies and gentlemen, if you think Cracker Barrel is just some obscure story, you're missing it. You are absolutely missing it. By the way, sometimes these newsletters, you used to get it, then you stop. I'm going to keep, I've been working on tweaking it. See if you get it today, because I've been going after new people as well as others as well. Have you stayed up late to hear Mr. L on WABC Live? Yes, you must do this. Please do this. It's fantastic. Somebody mentioned something about Ann Coulter. Ann Coulter's been around for a while. Bless her heart. But I just wonder how it's just a different look at Michelle Malkin. Just gone. Absolutely gone. Dinesh D'Souza, who is still there with us. He's still coming on strong, but we need some. Synovium, whatever his name is, he's kind of so-so. Probiotic, he's with who's with it? With Bannon, and they're good. So listen, it's not the person, it's the information. And when it comes to people about stories about, look, Cracker Barrel is okay, but I'm not going to spend my life worrying about Cracker Barrel. I find it interesting because it goes to show you how ESG is really the problem, and DEI and all that. Same thing with others as well, with Target and all this stuff. But I'm not going to. My job is not to worry about the biscuits and gravy. You know what I mean? It's emblematic of something, but it's not a main concern. In any event, thank you. Thank you. Have a great and a glorious day, my friends. Thank you so much for your tomorrow, of course, is the day. 67. And I wouldn't think of a better place to be celebrating it with my beloved wife, my beauteous wife, and you. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious night. Don't forget, sign up, become a Lionel Nation member, and you can get that. Get those interviews early. Got a great one with Scott Ritter. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious day. Don't ever change and mean that sincerely. And until we meet again, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya.